that inner voice that's talking to you when you're performing or you're about to indulge in those shameful vices, whether it's the drugs, the drink, the porn, the junk food, video games, whatever it might be, right? You know that what you're about to indulge in is going to make you feel shameful, make you feel very guilty, yeah? Pushing you further and further away from your highest self, from finding your purpose as a man. You ignore that voice, right? That voice of God, that voice from the universe, higher power, whatever you want to call it. You ignore that voice, and that voice is basically telling you to not indulge in that drink, man. It's not going to fix that problem you're running away from. Do not go see the dealer. You know that drug that you're indulging in is not going to make you feel good. Whatever the vice may be that you're addicted to, it's pushing you further and further and further away from your path. And it's a two-step phase, right? Like at first, when you're on the way to indulging in that vice, you feel guilty. You know deep down that this is not the right thing to do. But you ignore that voice, you indulge in the behavior. And then as a result, you think it's going to help you run away from your problems. You actually start thinking about your problems more deeper now. Especially with the drink, especially with the drugs. You chose to ignore that voice. And now your problems feel more alive. So you're actually not doing yourself any justice. You're actually putting more pain into yourself, right? And you're not fixing anything, right? You're not fixing anything. Even if you say a temporary band-aid with these vices, you know that that's not fixing anything, right? Because you're back at square one when the second step or the second voice talks to you the next day, when you're feeling shit, when you're hungover from the alcohol, when you're feeling sluggish from the drugs, when you haven't slept properly. That's you cheating life, yeah? And that's when you start feeling guilty and shameful. You start getting negative thoughts. Your whole perception on life is, life's hard, life's difficult, why me? And it's just a never-ending cycle, bro. It's a never-ending cycle that doesn't go away. And do this over and over and over again for years on end, yeah? And it'll get to a point where you're just going to feel like life is not worth living anymore. Life is hard. Life is difficult. And because you've done it for so many years now, over and over and over again, nothing's changed in your life. You're still the same person with the same problems, the same negative outlook on life. And you're literally just ignoring the voice of God, that inner consciousness talking to you, telling you every single time, don't do it, man. Don't do it, yeah? You ignore it. As a result, you feel guilt, you feel shameful, you feel disgusted in yourself. And then it'll get to a point where you just literally get thoughts where you just don't want to be here anymore. You just want to end your life. You feel like life's got no meaning anymore, no purpose, got no clarity. Your energy is low, your frequency is low. And man, I can totally relate to that, yeah. I remember, let me tell you one thing, when I'd be on the way to the dealer's house when I was in the midst of my addictions with the amphetamines, right? I'd be on the way to the dealer's house. And every single time over the course of 8 years of my addictions, I ignored that voice that was talking to me, right? And what would happen is I would feel so shameful, right? I would feel disgusted with myself. My heart would race, my body would shake, because I knew if I indulged in this behavior, I'm going to be up for a day or two. Yes, I'll be running away from the problem, but it's going to come twice as hard, 3 times as hard when I run out of the drugs, right? And man, I can tell you one thing, yeah. I ignored that voice. I ignored my heart racing. I ignored my body shaking and trembling. I knew what I was about to indulge in was only going to push me further and further and further away from me being my best self. I chose to ignore that voice. And I would do the drugs. And the next day, I felt so disgusted in myself, felt so shameful, felt so guilty, couldn't look loved ones in the eyes, because I was living a double life, operating from shame and guilt. And I'll tell you, man, after continuously trying to ignore that voice and indulging in shameful acts, it gets to a point where you just don't want to be here anymore. But if only you just listen to that inner voice, those signs, right? Then you'd be able to start living and being your best self. You've got it within you to overcome whatever you're going through right now, right? Mentally. You've got it within you. But it all starts with not ignoring that inner voice, not ignoring what the universe is trying to tell you. The universe, God, knows what's best for you, right? You can't cheat life. You can't cheat life. You can't live a double life. You can't lie to yourself. Yeah, I used to do that. I used to lie to myself and try and live a double life. But it was so shameful, man, that the shame started eating me so much inside that I just wanted to end things, bro. Literally, right? And the moment I started to embrace the pain, I started to deal with what I was running away from, was the moment my life started to completely change, man. Completely change. I'm saying 0 to 100 change, yeah? And that's when you start getting control over your life and you start to see life in a different light. Because let me tell you, man, there is life at the end of the tunnel. You are so close to becoming your best self, removing these vices that are no longer serving you, right? You are so close, but you ignored the voice of God, the voice of the universe. You ignored it. It tried to warn you so many times, yeah? And then you just treat people around you shit. Not because you're a bad person, right? Nothing to do with that. But because you're operating from low frequency, from shame and guilt by indulging in these vices, that it's not allowing you to become your best self, right? It's the devil. You're the one that's going to be feeling these feelings, right? It's you that must take control over your life and listen to the voice, the inner consciousness. Use the shame, the guilt, the low frequency, all this. Use this as fuel. Use this as a sign to become the best version of yourself. Use this pain that you're running away from. Walk into it. Because every time you relapse, every time you indulge in these shameful acts, you're just pushing yourself further and further and further away from your highest self. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, and it starts with listening to that inner consciousness and taking signs from your life, that the signs that are making you feel, guilty, shameful. This is robbing you of your true highest self. The answers lie within the pain, right? That's what I've learned. The answers lie within the pain that you're running away from. The very one thing that you're running away from and trying to band-aid and mask, right? Is the one thing that if you overcome, it will literally allow you to go 0 to 100 in becoming your best self. You can't cheat life, man. You cannot cheat life. You have to be as honest as possible, right? You can't lie to yourself. You might be able to lie to other people, but you can't lie to yourself. Because deep down, when it's just you and your thoughts, you can't run away from that, right? And it's going to eat you inside. That shame and guilt, when done over time, over and over and over again, is just going to eat you. It's going to rob you of everything, your purity that you've got in you as a man. It's going to rob you. And it'll get to a point where you just want to end your life. Your mental health will be very low. And this is no way to live, yeah. Don't ignore that voice. Don't ignore the signs, the feelings of shame and guilt. That's the universe telling you, hey man, I told you yesterday when you're on the way to indulge in the drugs, when you're on the way to indulge in whatever the vice might be, the alcohol, whatever it might be. I told you this is not going to help you, or this is not going to make you feel better. Maybe for 5 minutes, but then whatever pain you're running away from has just been expanded, right? It's just same thoughts are coming in your head, whatever you're going through. And then you end up fighting demons with yourself. And the next day, when you're feeling even more shit, the signs of shame and guilt running through your body, just eats you, man. It just eats you, right? We all have a choice in this life. We all have a path. We all have a purpose as men. And we can choose to either make life difficult, run away from the problems, embrace in vices, or we can literally walk straight into the pain, the problems, whatever it might be. Embrace it, right? And overcome it. Have control. Operate from a higher frequency. Be one's best self, highest self. And we're able to then help those loved ones during tough times around us. Inspire and lift those around us that are going through problems, right? That don't have the right role models around. You can become that role model, right? But it all starts with listening to that inner voice and no longer running away from your pain and your problems, diving straight into it, no longer operating from shame and guilt, ignoring that voice the next day where you're not able to operate from the highest frequency. You know that you cannot run away, man. You cannot run away. It will take a toll on you. It'll end up eating you. It'll eat everything. It'll rob everything from you, your happiness, your perception of life, everything. And you don't deserve to put yourself through this, right? You don't deserve this. There's two ways you can live life. You can literally live life going through that pain all the time and just continuously hurting yourself, not being able to help those loved ones around you, just destroy your mental health, destroy yourself, right? Or you can choose to embrace the pain, be like, these are the cards I've been dealt. This is the situation that I've got right now. I'm no longer going to operate like this. And I'm going to completely dedicate myself to self-improvement, becoming the best version of myself. Whatever it takes, I'm going to do this. I'm just going to fall in love with the process. And I know one day that if I was able to have children, if I had a younger brother, if I had a friend that was going through pain or problems, I would be able to give them advice and help them, right? You don't have to live life this way, man. You don't have to live life this way. Your problem's not going to run away. Life is not going to get easier with you just avoiding what needs to be done, right? So why not just dive straight into the pain? Listen to that voice, that inner voice that's telling you, man, don't do this, don't do this. It's not going to work. It's going to end very badly. And now you got to operate through shame and guilt, which is pretty much a level that's just above death. And then you wonder, why does life suck? Why is life hard? Why is life difficult? You were so close to overcoming it, but you relapsed, you gave up, and you didn't push through. If only just push through the pain of not having the vice. That's your calling to becoming your best self. That's the universe talking to you, saying, hey man, just walk through this pain that you're going through, overcome it, and I guarantee you there'll be light at the end of the tunnel. There's another life out there for you to enjoy, to live with purpose. But you just have to dive straight into it, man. You have to walk into the pain, not run away from it. And that's one thing I've learned, man, with my 8 years of addictions, when I was selfish, when I was perpetually pleasure chasing, ignoring the voice, feeling shameful and guilty. If only I just pushed through. But it took me 8 years to realize this, and it doesn't have to take you this long, man. Okay? You don't have to be at breaking point where you want to end your life where I was at. And I'm so fortunate I'm able to be in front of a camera here now today to inspire and help those with their addictions, with my video, using my past pain. I'm grateful for this. I'm happy. Someone's got to do it, right? Someone's got to go through this pain and overcome it and help those and lead those around us, right? During tough times, we need the right role models. We need the right brothers around to support and help us. So that's why I make this video, so I can help inspire you, right? It's not to make you feel worse. It's to wake you up to your full potential that you've got lying within you. Because you can't say you don't understand, bro, what I'm going through. I completely understand, bro. Okay? Completely. And those that don't know what amphetamine addictions feel like, bro, a lot of people end up relapsing. A lot of people end up in rehab, in psych wards, everything like that, right? But the universe had his path laid out for me. It was to go through the pain, the suffering, fix myself, come out on the other side, and inspire and help and lead others, right? And that's where I'm fortunate, because even though I was walking around dead for 8 years, I know that my video will help and inspire someone else to make a change and become their best selves, right? That's what it's all about. This is my purpose. This is my path, to help others. Use my pain, my struggles to help others and show them it can be done. There's no way that it can fail, okay? I'm telling you now. There's no way it's going to fail, bro. You've got a beautiful life waiting ahead of you, right? It's right in front of you. The answers are right there, right in front of you. The inner voice, that's an answer. The shame and guilt, that's an answer, right? These are all signs that you cannot operate like this no more, man. Enough is enough. And just walk straight into the pain. The moment you keep doing it, problems that happen or problems that come into your life become easier and easier and easier to deal with. That you just become mentally strong and you can just handle anything. And that's the best thing that you can do. Just deal with problems with it not letting affect you. Living by purpose and helping others around you, man. That's what it all comes down to, right? The more we keep indulging in shameful acts that are no longer serving us, we're pushing ourselves further and further and further away from our true purpose as a man, which will then deeply impact your mental health, right? And in this day and age, with so much vices that are out there, you need to get onto this. You need to understand this, that they're not going to go away. They're going to get more and more challenging to deal with. So the quicker you can walk into your pain, the quicker you can become your highest self, operate from the highest frequency through your daily actions, your daily process, the therapy that you give yourself with the morning routine to make yourself good so you can be good to others and help others. It's there, bro. It's right in front of you, right? The writing's on the wall. You just have to believe in yourself that you can do this, because you can do this. If I can do it, you can do it. There's nothing different between us. We're all human beings at the end of the day, right? So if there's anything I'd like you to take from this video, it's to say that your mental health right now, the shameful feelings that you're feeling, the guilt, the suffering, whatever it might be, the trauma you've been through, this is all in your head and can be overcome, right? It can be overcome. You can definitely become a brand new person, right? And you just don't ignore that inner voice that's calling you, that's talking to you, that's telling you, right, that what you're doing is wrong. You don't ignore it. You use it, and you make the right decisions. Because all actions have consequences, right? And what is this life, man? Think about it. We're only here for a certain amount of time. We're not going to be here forever. So as men, we need to help and inspire and lead and help people around us. And we can't do that when we're operating from shame and guilt, and we're ignoring that inner voice. Yeah. Start to walk into the pain. Start to dive into it, because I guarantee you, life will only get better and better for you the moment you just walk into your purpose and do things that serve you rather than harm you, right? So, look, man, I'm going to end this video here. Hope you got some sort of value from this. Hope I was able to, inspire you and give you that push to let you know that there is a better life out there. Your highest self awaits. Your level 2.0 version awaits you. It's all about just crafting and working at that person, working on yourself through a daily process, and things will get much better. Trust me. But look, man, ending the video here. About to hit a gym session right now. So, yeah, just going to carry on with my day. But look, have a beautiful, blessed day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.